I had to take the hoodie and the headset off for this video. Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is a different type of video. Many sort of videos I'm planning to do in the future of certain games that I have played without recording and without streaming it. With the release of Persona 5 Royal on all platforms pretty much, Xbox, PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, Persona 5 Royal is about to be played by a lot more people than what was just on PlayStation. And I am still relatively new to the Persona series and the Shin Megami Tensei spin-offs and all that sort of stuff. I played Persona 5 Royal almost a year and a half ago, almost. It was last year when I started playing Persona 5 in like maybe March of 2021, and I didn't beat it until September of 2021, I'm pretty sure. Persona 5 Royal, I know you probably hear this a lot. Persona 5 Royal for me was not just a game or just something that I played and just enjoyed. It was an experience. Like, I'm going to get to that in a sec. There's not going to be really any spoilers in this video. It's going to be like some gameplay and stuff in this video as well, so you don't really have to worry about that, especially if you're new to the Persona series and you want to try out Persona 5. If you have like an Xbox, a Switch, or PC, you just never got to play Persona 5 because it was stuck on PlayStation for the longest time. I never played Persona 5, the original, when it first came out. In fact, I never even heard of it until Royal came out. And I bought a lot of games in 2020, and Persona 5 Royal was one of them. But I never played it until like a year later because I was just so backed up on so many games I had to play at the time. So what is Persona 5 Royal? Persona 5 Royal is a series of games of the Persona series, which the Persona series are a spin-off of old PlayStation games called Shin Megami Tensei. I know it was a new one that came out on Nintendo Switch like last year, but the Shin Megami Tensei games and the Persona series are so far away from each other now. It's almost like they have similarities, yes, but they're like vastly different. So Persona is a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei, but it became pretty much its own thing, as probably even more popular than Shin Megami Tensei now. Persona 5 Royal is a JRPG where you're basically put in the shoes of a Japanese high school student who was put on parole, I guess you could say, for being falsely accused of something. And at first, when I started playing this game, I was a bit confused because, I saw trailers for this game and everything, and I thought maybe it was something like, oh, so you're like doing heists or something. But then, like, when you enter the first dungeon or palace, it's almost like, oh, this is something even more going on here right now. Like, this is not what it seems, pretty much. And basically, it's kind of like part of your life. You're a student trying to do student things, trying to hang out with your friends or make friends and do this, do that, while you're in this other world, saving and changing and fighting these like weird creatures of like different mythologies and stuff of that nature. Is like very intriguing. From like the first 10 hours is basically the tutorial, and it's not necessarily a bad thing either. But the more I played through this game, I literally did not play anything else when I was playing this game. Like, it was just straight Persona 5. I was just playing and playing and playing. There was even moments where I was just doing a lot of the social stuff just for hours before even going into the dungeon, or crawling around into mementos trying to find different items and different skills and just farming money. There's one thing that in this game that I really do appreciate that I haven't before is the turn-based action in this game. The turn-based combat. I've never played a turn-based game in my entire existence. I've actually strayed away from them because I didn't like the feeling of not controlling my characters and not moving them around, especially after playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, where they kind of took the turn-based and mixed it in with action. So it was kind of like a mixture of both, and I felt like that was the best of both worlds. But after playing Persona 5 Royal, feel like Atlas really perfected turn-based combat, at least for this game. It's so in depth, and there's so many different ways, like where you could like exploit enemies' weaknesses and then perform an all-out attack, or you have like this move that just comes out of nowhere and you just use it and it does a lot of damage. Like, it's a lot to it, where it's kind of just like you kind of get it. You can understand, like, if you look at a certain enemy, like maybe it's weak to fire, maybe it's weak to ice, or things of that nature. Another thing I really do appreciate about this game is the music in this game. This music in this game is honestly next level. Like, not only is the battle theme really good, but like just like the atmospheric music when, say for instance, you're in the LeBlanc Cafe, just walking around Tokyo or whatever, you're just listening to the music and it's just like...
Let's go. Pixie! There!
Is that the shadow from earlier? Don't tell me. Did you take in the shadow's appearance and powers as a persona?
All right.
I'm here, like I'm actually in this game. And it really started to turn into a point where I felt like I was like in this game, where I was actually playing as Joker, as this character that you are placed as, and I am building these bonds with these characters. And all of these characters in these games are like, have a lot of depth to them. Some of them, yeah, are kind of like shoehorned in, or some of them are kind of like not really that in depth, but a lot of the characters in Persona 5 are very in depth, especially the main cast of the Phantom Thieves from geez, I can't remember their names, from An to Ryuji, Morgana, Futaba, Yosuke, Makoto, Haru, and Kasumi. And I guess you could count Akechi as well because he is on the cover art. But all of these characters have some sort of depth to them, or like these tragic backstories, and you're like, oh man, like it just gets worse. And the more and more as you solve this mystery throughout the game, you're kind of just like, what is this leading up to? And literally this game, I guess this is kind of spoilerish, so if you don't want to listen to this, you could just skip ahead. But there's kind of like two endings to this game. Like, one ending is like the original ending of Persona 5, and then the second ending is like the new chapters of the Royal content where that ends. So I don't know if that's really a spoiler or anything like that, but there's literally two endings. The first ending is honestly very satisfying and felt like a very like heroic moment. It's just like, we won. But the second ending honestly made me not want to end it. It was like, as soon as I finished Persona 5 Royal, it took me about maybe 200 hours plus to actually play the game and to finish it. And by the time that I finished the game, spending all this time grinding, farming personas, which are basically grown Pokemon that you gather up and you use their powers and everything to fight these enemies. After spend all this time farming for personas or collecting or hanging out with these characters and doing these things like playing mini golf or darts or whatever, or just listening to these characters' backstory, it almost felt like I was the one leaving behind, like the game was over, like it's over. Like there's nothing else you can do. Once you beat it, it's over. Unless you play the Persona 5 Strikers game, but that's a completely different beast in itself. But after I finished the game, I kind of felt empty inside, like, oh man, I want to replay this game again. But I've never had the time to commit to replaying this game again. And I wanted to replay the game again so bad, but then a part of me had a feeling that Persona 5 Royal was going to be coming to PS5, like a PS5 title. And this is the part of the video where I'm answering why I rebought Persona 5 Royal for PS5. I don't have an Xbox, and I don't have Xbox Game Pass where I get the game. I actually bought the physical edition. It was like a special steelbook edition for Persona 5 Royal. I bought Persona 5 Royal on when it was on sale for like, I think maybe $18. I haven't bought any of the DLC stuff or the different costumes or things of that nature. So all the extra stuff that I get in the PS5 version is something that, I'll be able to take advantage of now. But also, I kind of just wanted to relive this game, like no save data, basically how it was when I first played it. Because granted, it's been a whole year and a half since I've played this game. And a lot of stuff I do remember, but a lot of stuff I don't remember because this game is just so long, so in-depth, so literally so many different things you could do to pass the time and move the days on along. But this game is honestly just an experience. And if you're like if you were interested in Persona 5 but you never got to play it because you didn't have a PlayStation, seriously, if you have a Switch, get this game. If you have a Xbox or Xbox Game Pass, get this game. If you have a PC, get this game, because this game will literally like suck you in, make you play it, and then once you play it, you honestly feel like honestly feel like the game has changed your heart. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. If you are interested in me playing Persona 5 Royal, I honestly will be replaying the game, but this time I'm actually going to be streaming it on my Twitch channel. So if you're interested in seeing me play the game live, I am live every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. So if you want to join along and watch me replay Persona 5, or if you're somebody that's new to Persona series, you don't really want to spend the money to buy the game, you just want to play the game, watch the story, or if you just want to watch somebody else play the game and talk about the game, then you can do that as well. But anyway, go out, buy Persona 5 because it's coming out this Friday, and I wanted to drop this video before it comes out just to let you know. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.